Your niche is a really important aspect of your strategy in your coaching business, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. However, you do need to know that you are selecting and refining and defining a niche that has the potential to make an income for you and bring in lovely dream fit clients and provide you with the footings for a coaching business that works for you. So let's dive into that today. Hello and welcome to the Life First Coaching Business Podcast. I'm your host, Leoni, and I'm all about helping new coaches like you create life first businesses you love by building out the key foundations you need for an easeful and joyful business, where you get to make an impact doing what lights you up and helping others. We talk about the strategies, the systems, and the mindset you need to make your coaching business work for you. So let's dive in. So first of all, I want to dive in with some questions that you should ask around defining your niche to confirm and validate for yourself that your niche has actual profit potential. But then I'm going to also dive into some of the mistakes that coaches can make when they're not getting traction, if things aren't clicking yet and they're not seeing that flow of clients coming in and feeling like it's a problem with their niche and what actually might be happening instead. So first of all, when it comes to defining your niche, I dive into this in a lot more detail in my signature masterclass, which I actually gave this week, and the replay is still available for. So if you want to check that out, head to the link in the show notes. But here are 3 questions that are going to help you to determine whether your niche has the potential to be wildly profitable. So number 1, are people actively investing in solving the problem that you have determined in your niche? The most important part of your niche is selecting the problem that you help people solve and making that specific and making sure that it's a problem that enough people have, that you can easily get in front of the people that have that problem, and that they're actively looking to solve that problem and are happy to invest in solving it. So if people aren't already spending money on this transformation elsewhere, then that's a red flag that your niche has profit potential. What you really want to be seeing is that there are plenty of other people out there solving this problem profitably, even though they do it in a different way to you. Because that's the ideal. You want to be solving a common, painful problem, but doing it differently to everyone else. That's your first question. Are people actively investing in solving this problem already? So do your market research, have a look around on social media, look at competitors, even if they're not other coaches, maybe there's other solutions out there, but validate the fact that people are paying to solve this problem. Question 2, do you have experience, skills, or personal connection to this niche? For 2 reasons. 1, coaching is all about trust. So if your audience don't see why you are the right person to help them, then they won't necessarily buy. So have you helped other people through this transformation? Have you achieved this transformation for yourself? Do you have qualifications, expertise in this transformation, in solving this problem? But secondly, not only do you want your business to be profitable, but you want it to be aligned and joyful and fulfilling and all the things that light you up as a coach. So do you feel a deep connection to solving this problem? Is this something that lights you up when you think about helping people with this transformation? Is it something you feel you could talk about till the cows come home? And that's where you want to be finding that overlap. I talk about this all the time, but finding the overlap between the things that you want and desire and care about as a coach, overlapping with the things that your ideal client cares about and wants and desires and is experiencing. And then question 3, can you clearly describe who you help and how? So is it specific or is it too broad? Because if it's too broad or vague, then people won't see themselves in your messaging. And it's really important that the right people immediately identify when you're talking about your niche. So you want to be thinking about something like the formula of I help who the person is with whatever problem they have so they can the outcome you help them achieve. And that's a really simple way of drilling down exactly what your niche is. And as I say, I go into a lot more detail on how to really differentiate yourself with your niche in my masterclass. But essentially, this simple sentence is a great starting point for you to really dial in who you're helping and how, and making sure that that resonates with the right people, that it speaks to them and that they say, yep, that's me and I want that outcome. I have that problem and that's who I am. So I help who you help with problem so they can outcome. As simple as that. But make sure you're really digging into, am I talking to the thoughts in that person's head? Am I describing the problem the way they would describe it? Am I talking to the outcome the way they would describe it, rather than the way I'm assuming that they describe it? And some examples of this is if you might be talking to something like feelings, like I help someone to become more confident. That's quite vague and quite broad, and it's not tangible. It doesn't speak to someone who has a specific problem. Now, more confidence might be the vehicle that gets someone to their transformation. So if you're helping people with confidence, for example, what does that confidence lead to in their life? What's the tangible outcome in their life? Is it confidence to step into a new career? Is it confidence to start dating? Is it confidence to build a social circle that they feel real connection with? So think about the outcome as something tangible in their life and not the more intangible skills or feelings that are going to help them achieve that outcome. So I hope that helps. But what can sometimes happen with coaches who are not yet getting the traction they'd like to see in their business is that they can question, is it a niche problem, and start thinking they need to try a new niche and blaming their niche strategy. But you need to understand that your niche strategy is one part of the 4 puzzle pieces, is the way I like to look at it. So you've got your niche of who you help and how, but then on top of that, you've got the messaging, the way you're talking to them, the way you're connecting to them, the way you're speaking to their fears, their doubts, their worries, their objections, and positioning your solution as the answer to their problem and showing them how you take them from that undesired state to that desired state. So all that comes into your messaging. Then you need to have a really clear, compelling offer that shows them how working with you is the solution to their problem and what making the investment means to their life and why it's a no-brainer for them to make this investment, and what they'll work on with you, what process they'll go through with you to achieve the desired outcome, and why they can trust themselves through that process if they're supported by you. So that's your offer. And then you need to have an active selling strategy. So you're not just marketing your coaching, but you're also making sales. You're also making invitations into your offer and actively selling to people who have shown an interest in what you do. Because until you've got those 4 pieces of the puzzle working for you, you can't judge whether your niche isn't working. As long as those 3 questions, as long as you can answer those 3 questions and you can see evidence of other people profitably solving that problem for that person, then the likelihood is that the leak is not your niche strategy. It's likely that it's in your messaging, in your offer, or in your sales strategy, or often a combination of all 4 not being dialed in enough. So those are the 4 things that you want to be really focused on having in place. As I said, I've just given a masterclass where I dive deep into all 4 of these areas of your strategy and share my signature frameworks to help you dial in your strategy in these 4 areas. And once you've done that, that's when you can start to put more work into your marketing activities, more work into getting visible, and actually judge whether the results of that visibility are paying off in giving you paying clients on the other side of it. Until you've got those 4 puzzle pieces in place, any energy that you're pouring into getting visible, marketing your coaching, aren't going to fully pay off because you haven't got the strategy to take people through that journey of seeing you as the answer to their problems, understanding how they can work with you, being ready to take the next step and becoming a client. So those are the 4 things you really want to have in place, and take the opportunity if you're a coach who's struggling to get traction, who's feeling like it feels way harder than it should to get clients, who maybe you're feeling a bit overwhelmed or confused about why your strategy isn't working and where the gaps, where the leaks are. This masterclass is going to help you identify straight away where you need to close up the gaps in your overall strategy, focus your efforts, and where you might need to shift your focus onto building those foundations before you're focusing on things like building a website, launching freebies, creating social media content, hosting masterclasses, going to networking events. All those things are amazing ways to grow your coaching business, but you won't get the full benefits of those actions and that energy put into those actions until you've got these vital foundations in place. And your niche is just 25% of that strategy. So don't discount your niche. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, until you've got these other pieces of the puzzle dialed in. So head over to the link in the show notes to watch the replay of that masterclass, and you'll be able to plug up the gaps, see where you need to do some work. So I'll see you over at the masterclass, and I hope you got lots of value out of this episode today. As always, if you enjoyed, please leave a quick rating and review. It would really help the show to grow. And I love creating these episodes, but I want to get them into the ears of more coaches so I can help more people. So if you can help me with that, I would be most grateful. And just thank you for tuning in. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'll catch you again next week. Oh, before you go, you need to grab yourself a copy of the best and most useful freebie on the internet for coaches. It's my free 1-page client attraction blueprint. It takes you through the exact 7 steps you need to go from 0 clients to filling your wait list. And you can map it out all on 1 page, and there's a mini training that comes with it that walks you through that process. So head to the link in the show notes and grab your copy now.